This is what we do obedience training for, right? We don't do it so we could have our dog do an off-leash heel for fucking 4,000 hours a day and hold down stays all the time and this and that. We do it so we can trust that we can keep them under control when we take them places like this. And that's why I think his program is like such a beautiful one to see, because we don't have to do the obedience training work with him. We could just enjoy the fruits of the labors and finish the job, you know? And I'm here with Teddy again. This is going to be a Teddy like midway point update. The first 2 weeks of this dude's program have been pretty much in a nutshell like everything you guys saw in his first video, where I've been just taking him a ton of places. I've been focusing on just basically asking nothing of him, letting him go off, do his thing. We've had some update podcast episodes we did where we talked a little bit about him. And over the course of those first 2 weeks, honestly, I've only needed to correct him. This sounds insane, but like 3 times. I think it was like he picked up a chicken bone off the ground. We were at Crocker Park and he tried to pick up a piece of pizza. And I think one time in my house, he tried to like jump on the windowsill or something like that. It was just like dumb little shit like that. But outside of that, this dude's just been loosening up and having the time of his life. And honestly, like his attitude has been everything I could have ever wanted it to be and more. One of the biggest things we've been focusing on over the last, say, 4 or 5 days has been re-adding some obedience into this. So as we talked about in the first episode, this dude did a board and train before. He worked with some one-on-one trainers, and he is obedience trained. Like he knows his obedience, but it was done in a very, I don't want to say like force-centered way, because it makes it sound like I'm like against using e-collars to train things and this and that. But like the problem is there was no focus on letting him enjoy himself. It was just on like control and like suppress, right? So as I've been adding the obedience into it, I've been being, I don't want to say loose about the criteria. Like I'm holding him to the criteria. He's in a downstay right now as we're talking here. He's holding his downstay. He knows if he gets up, I'm going to tell him no, and I'm going to make him get back into it. And he's been pretty reliable with it. But I'm really trying to minimize my use of the obedience so the obedience can kind of predict going and doing fun things. So right now, he's holding this downstay, and he's in anticipation of me releasing him so he can go off and play in the field, right? As we're passing other dogs out on the walk. Like really, I'm trying to abide by still to let you do whatever you want to do on the walk, right? And have a good time and this and that. And I'm only implementing that come command and that control as we're passing dogs, people, things like that, where we don't want him just approaching them, obviously. That way, the vast majority of the time, he's free to do whatever he wants to do. He's free to make good decisions, but I'm really trying to be very selective of where I'm adding the control into things. So what we're gonna do is we have him in a brand new place right now. We haven't been to the metro parks yet. So we're at the metro parks, it's Memorial Fields. We got a huge field over here. We got some hiking trails over there, stuff like that. And I'm just gonna work him a little bit. I'm gonna see how much I really need to use obedience as we're here. Obviously there's some additional distractions and stuff, so it'll be a little bit. And we're gonna kind of see what things look like. So let's get to work. Okay, come on. Daddy. Good job, buddy. Teddy. Teddy. Come on. Teddy. So in the last episode, you guys will know, I talked a little bit about wanting to build his ball drive up, get him to a place where he was more engaged with it. I'll tell you, we've been playing ball virtually every day with him since he's been here. And, okay, like it's definitely gone up. But in the grand scheme of things, this is not a dog that I would say is like absurdly ball driven. I would say the environment and sniffing around and things like that definitely are more of a motivation for him. Teddy. Okay. So I'm playing with him, but I really haven't added in like a drop or anything at this point. Mostly because I haven't needed to. He hasn't really ever held it long enough for me to need to give that drop command. But as you see, like this dude just loves running and playing and having a good time. So That's really what we've been trying to allow him to do for the most part, is just kind of have fun, right, and be a dog. And you see even this from last time, like this dude's drive to just like go and explore and sniff has just like shot up through the roof. It's been really cool to see. Now over the next 2 weeks, because he's got 2 weeks left in his program with us, there's a couple places I'd like to see him improve. One, I would like to get him to a place where I really trust him off leash. He hasn't done anything that's had me completely not trust him so far. He's good with his recalls when I need it. Like, we'll go ahead and try one here, obviously. Teddy, come. Good job, buddy. Come on. Like, as you see, like, he's been really good about those recalls. Good. Okay. And you see how I talked about, right, using those recalls to kind of predict fun stuff happening. So like he's been good about them, right? But there's little things like as he's running, like I'm gauging like, Teddy, come. No, Teddy, come. No, Teddy, come. I'm gauging like how much of that right there. No, Teddy, come. Good. I'm gauging how much of that there is like, I'm trying to just go chase down that guy golfing over there, right? Okay. Versus I'm just trying to do some like zoomy laps around, right? So I'm kind of gauging those things out, and I haven't really gotten on him too much over it. Instead, I've kind of just been using the leash to manage him as best as possible. Because like I said, he's not doing anything problematic. There's no major concerns here at this point with anything. But that's going to be something where I do want to get that leash off of him. Okay. So I will have to eventually start putting him in a situation where I let him do that, you know, obviously where like I see, hey, like you're going to go, what are you going to do when you start going, right? And then I address it if there's any type of problem with it. Where'd the ball go, Teddy? I said this the other day, I was with a client, but like these orange balls seeing in the grass is so hard for me because I'm colorblind. Teddy, okay. Right, so like we're really letting him start to make some more decisions here. Like I'm not even holding the line as much. I'm gonna allow him at this stage in the game where if he does start beelining it that way, I'm gonna let him do it. And that would be a situation where I do start actually adding in a correction for some of these things. So just little by little, we're adding some control in, right? I'm adding some control in the recalls. I'm adding some control in the downstays. Teddy, come. No, Teddy, come. I'm adding some control in a place like that. No, Teddy, come. Where clearly there was a runner going by over there. Good job, buddy. And he started taking off after them wanting to chase. Okay. So I'm making sure he's still going to be compliant in those places. Again, you got some more people walking by here. We'll see what we get. Good job, buddy. Okay. And we're just going out and we're having fun. But having a more controlled fun than last time. That's the biggest takeaway from this. Is this looks very similar to what we did last time with him, but there's just a little bit more control to it, you know? Teddy, okay. Teddy, come. No. Teddy, come. Again, adding more control in, right? Starting to give some corrections for things like that, non-compliance on the recalls. Okay, come on. Teddy. 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 Okay. You getting tired, bud? All right, so what we're gonna do, now that we got him kind of worn out there, we're gonna start, again, simulating off leash, working our way back towards the cars. We're gonna take him onto one of the hiking fields, the hiking paths, I should say, and we'll see how he does there. So a lot of people always ask, like, how do you know when the time is right to start progressing to full off leash? And I mentioned that's one of my big goals here over the next few weeks. And you see, obviously, now I just took him off of the leash. So there are a couple of key things that you got to keep in mind when it comes to preparing your dog for like actually taking the leash off. So thing number one is, and this sounds really corny, but like it is a feeling more than anything. Like when you really feel like you're kind of just like in tune with the dog and they're responding really well to you, they want to be with you, right? You've seen them in various situations be successful, et cetera, et cetera. So that's thing number one, which I've kind of had that feeling for a little while now with Teddy. Thing number two is you want to see a situation where your dog goes to make the wrong choice, you have an opportunity to correct them for it, and then you see a dramatic then difference in their behavior where they respond like perfectly to it, right? And we literally just saw that. That moment when he kind of tried to run towards the guy that was playing golf over there, and I gave him that recall. He didn't listen as fast as I wanted him to, and I gave an actual correction on the e-collar, and he, without hesitation, came immediately all the way to me, perfectly, very little stress involved in it, right? He just responded beautifully to being told, hey, you gotta stay with me more. That is the exact moment that I am looking to see with a dog to start hitting a point where I feel like I trust them off leash. So this is actually cool to see because you're kind of seeing the process in real time. Like this is the first time I've let him fully off of the leash. I didn't exactly bring proper footwear for this. Come on, Teddy. Come on, buddy. It's pretty cool, right? What do you think, dude? You get some stuff on you. Right, so like this is what we do obedience training for, right? We don't do it so we could have our dog do an off-leash heel for fucking 4,000 hours a day and hold down stays all the time and this and that. We do it so we can trust that we can keep them under control when we take them places like this. And that's why I think his program is like such a beautiful one to see, because we don't have to do the obedience training work with him. We could just enjoy the fruits of the labors and finish the job, you know? Notice as well, I don't know if you saw what he did right there, the check-ins that I'm starting to get. Like as he's going off, we'll see in a minute here. Like he keeps looking back, right, and checking where we're at. It's a huge thing that I look to see as well with off-leash training.